So, good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning.
So, I think the room is filling up.
Yeah, looks like.
Perfect. So, hello, everybody, and a wonderful good morning. My name is Rafael Ramat. For everybody who doesn't know me, I'm a former dental technician working with exocad since 3 years now. I'm part of the application specialist team, and today I'm your presenter. With me is Torsten. He is your chat partner today, and he will take care of all of the questions you have. Don't hesitate to ask him during also the workflow that I will show you today. The thing behind that is you can ask him anything about the workflow or during the workflow. When there is an important question or something I can repeat or I can also do again, he will interrupt me while I'm presenting and I can show the workflow again. Also, the questions are set by private to him, so there is no like open room for questions. So don't be scared if there is a question of understanding or something else in this way and you have problems. Just feel free to hesitate to him.
Exactly.
So, Mike, to you, Torsten.
Yeah, just just ask me any questions you might have, and yeah. So I would say let's go.
Perfectly. Okay. So I think the room is filling up again, but again and again, but I will start with the presentation. So let me switch to that. Hope everybody can see it. And then we will go through the whole kind of PowerPoint presentation to our feature release highlights from the Elefsina feature release. The topics today are ModelCreator and Duplicate Denture, and also an advanced workflow with immediate load on ball attachments. Okay, so these are the things that we were going through. Okay, first of all, I will talk about a couple of new things that we have released in the feature release 9036 3.2 Elefsina. There are automated steps in the wizard mode for more streamlined designs. So that means we have implemented a couple of workflow implementations from our chairside version. Yeah, you can find these settings if you open normal the CAD software, the process, and go on the expert mode, then go on tools and on settings. Then you can find directly on the design workflow, like you can see it right away here. The first step is use the simplified crown design workflow from chairside CAD. Yeah. Okay, next up, the thing that we will talk today is the model creator with the type previews. Yeah, so we also added GIFs and pictures to this kind of model alignment workflow. So that means that you have a better overflow if you just open the drop-down menu to see which kind of model you will persist to do. So this makes it more easier to find your individual style for the models. And you can directly see on one workflow with a small picture. And like you see when you hover over it, you can directly also get the big picture on the screen. So then we have also like implementation in the emergency restoration step. If you finished your design at the end, the one-click solution for quick design models. Yeah, a fully automatic model creation workflow that starts directly with your restorations and so on after that step. I can show you that later on in the software. Yeah, so the benefits is really easy to reduce the design by the quick design model workflow, and you can skip over the wizard steps. Yeah. So the next one, an enhanced flexibility in bar designs. So we added, like you can see there in the Freeform tab from bars, there is an atomic setup for the small and large regions, but also another drop-down menu for paint and pull. Yeah, that you can see it like on the picture, that you can oversize the or you can mark the oversized parts that you want to collapse with, and then you can take that one as a moving part and pull it in the direction you need there. SmileCreator improvements, that was one of our webinars or one of our last webinars that we have done in the last couple of weeks. There are a couple of improvements. Also, when we talk about the SmileCreator report, you can see that we can open the page setup and also the SmileCreator report, and you can see whatever kind of picture or every kind of slide you want to have in your report at the end. Yeah, so you can enlarge it with more informations you need, or you can also make it smaller. Yeah. Also, the two color bar selection is a little bit better because now you can see where you have based on the tooth base color and also the tooth color highlights. And you can see there is a marking on your color scale that you can see directly where is your position for the tooth setup color needed. Okay, there are more things to come. If you want to rewatch that webinar, these webinars will be loaded on our YouTube page, but later on more to that. Then there is a digital order slip via DentalShare. You can see that right away here. If you open the settings also in the DentalCAD and the DentalDB, then you can go on the tab DentalShare, and there's the order slip creation option. And then you can see right away here, there's a fully automatic PDF slip for your DentalShare sendings. Yeah, so everything is right away set up with the color, the healthy, if it's a healthy tool, with the color, with the material, and so on and so on. Yeah, everything to make your workflow fully digital with a more experience also for doctors and the labs. So then an enhanced user experience. Also with UI UX changes, like you saw it in the DentalCAD Model Creator tab, but also now the UI UX changed with pictures in the Articulator tab. So you can also see it directly here with a picture to have a better overview and a really easy, quicker, and better loadout for your articulator you need in this case. Yeah. Also, by choose influencing teeth, there is a drop-down menu added or a point menu added. If you can use the models that you have scanned before, like using the models or a pre-op or wax-up scan that chooses the articulator movement. So for edentulous teeth, then it's really easy and really good that you have the option to set up, for example, the wax-up scan, old denture scan or whatever, scanned as a pre-op or things like that, that you can set up this individual workflow like this. Yeah. Also, a thing that we came out of community from feedback community, the jaw selection that you can move in the articulator, the jaw selection from the movement from the upper jaw, the lower jaw. Yeah, so you can see that one is displayed in your workflow. Then the in-skull articulator with the crystal skull effect. So there's a visualization for our articulator. It's like a good showcase in this part, yeah, that you can also see it, and for demonstrating it for patients, it has a glow up effect for them. Looks really, really cool. Also, this articulator is normal with every kind of, it's like an articulator, but with a visual effect. And you can also set up there all of your individual needs for movements in the articulator. So then a couple of software architectures and system requirements. Microsoft Windows.NET 8 is a must-have for that. Also, the latest exocad framework can be accessed to your reseller. It's super easy for them because they can download it from the secure area from our website. And then also internet address accesses to get in the contact with the live server, the license server, the exocad wiki internet addresses that has to be accepted to your computer. If there is a mistake or is there something you cannot really access, also the resellers can download this kind of web pages from our secure area. So feel free to ask them, and then they can put it on the whitelist for you if there are any problems with that. So then it's this time again in this year. It's not like even in Christmas time. It's also a special limited time offer that we have this year until the December 31. So at the end of the year, a customer with a perpetual license activated before August 31 can now switch to an ultimate bundle for a one-time fixed fee. So you can also upgrade directly to your 3.2 Elefsina version, the latest one we have released. Yeah, all the license equipped with an ultimate bundles and will be set it up like this. There is no refresh fee then. And then also all upgraded are through December with an upgrade contract until December 31, 2025. Also included the new Xpira Denture Tooth libraries. They're really cool with more setups. And I think it's worth it to do it. I think it's worth it to do it because we can do so many more things with that. So, and then also something new, visit our shop.exocad.com, personalized introductions online, or also new in exocad, in the exocad headquarter, directly with the experts. So you can also book now a training here in Darmstadt. If you want to visit us, if you want to make a short learning trip for a couple of days, feel free to check the website. You can also go through all of the modules you have. We can also offer you recordings for the trainings, but also we have hands-on workshops, like everybody can work with his own laptop here. You don't need to bring your laptop. We have laptops here. You can also try everything out with the software with the help from our expert team. Okay, and then last but not least, the announcement, what I have said at the beginning, all of our webinars that were started, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, will be listed on the YouTube page under the feed playlist. Like you see here in the overview, all of the webinars in every language will be set up like here, and you can rewatch them without any problems. In your speed, you can pause them in a different kind of workflow if you want to make that one at your own PC at home. And then you can go through it. Everything is fine. Okay, so thank you for that in this case. And I will jump right away here. I will now delete the PowerPoint presentation. I think the chat is quiet, Thorsten, or is there something I have to explain?
Exactly. No questions yet. I think.
Okay, perfect.
Start now.
So good. I think everybody saw me in the beginning. My little Pac-Man friend here is our first case today. So we can talk about the model creator. So model creator is the thing to go to together with duplicate dentures. This is our part that we will take place today. The agenda will be that we can talk about the model creator, then we will do a duplicate denture scan, and at the end we will also do a special case with a duplicate denture and an immediate load. So we can just talk about all of this kind of stuff that we can start here. Okay, I think what you see here directly is that we have a little bit of changes also in the DentalDB. I can show you directly when I'm just going on the left side. We have the 9036 here available. Okay, everybody's familiar, I guess, with the direct printer integration, but also what you can see directly here is that we have the implant planning, the rapid pre-planning, and the surgical guide. So the immediate load function is more or less better because we have now the complete options that we had here in the exoplan integration directly. So it's also easy for your reseller to install that for you, that you can use 1DB directly for planning and for the CAD functions, okay? So like you see here, implant planning, everything is set up by default. They have to do the installation for you. Super easy. Okay, so we need case 5, the model creator with dice. This is our first part that we've set up here. Anatomic crown, adjacent teeth, antagonist. You can see directly we have the acrylic PMMA teeth with anatomic parts. Everything is set up right away. Normally here, we don't do some extra stuff, right? And like you can see, we have 4 tooth prepped here. In the show and hide menu. Also, we can disable the lower jaw to have a more or less better inspection here. I really like this overview because sometimes mixed cases look different and doesn't look different. They look the same like that. And then I think in our normal business, everybody can see that one here directly. Sometimes we don't need a tooth scheme. We just need the scans. So I really love this option here with the preview setup. And then I think, no, not the design. We will start with the model creator. We don't want to do the design right away. I will just load the scan data and close that run real quick. I think that's my normal purpose when I just wanted to start the model creator. I just click on design every time. So load the scan data. And then we can see directly the first thing that came to our mind when we see the new model alignment step, the things that I mentioned in the PowerPoint presentation. Now we can see here directly, we have our pictures make it available. So we can see directly when you hover with the mouse over it, that there is a small picture as a preview and also the bigger one. So we can see which kind of model type you want to work with. So Plateless model with predefined bases, wax-up models, iTero articulator, Baumann model systems, and so on and so on. Gingiva mask flat. Now with a little bit better overview, I think most of you are using the plateless model design here in this case. Yeah, I think everything here is familiar. Pushing the control, you can also set up with the different positions here, your kind of model types and a situation to set the model in your height or your direction. And then with the small drop down under the big type of model plateless models, you can use whatever you want to. Also, if you want to have a flat gingiva or directly have presetted the drain holes or want to make cutout dies with dynamic shaft gap, extra dies. So this means that you have the master model and the dies separate. Yeah, so you have one model where the stumps are directly integrated, and then with extra dies, you will get the dies separated. Also lab analog seating window, but this will be for implants. Then we will not cover that today. Yeah, but I think with cutout dies is the normal version. And now you can see also, you can save that one as a default. Yeah, and you see if I hover over it, save this model as a default type, it will pre-select when starting the model alignment. So if you are going with your normal individual workflow and you have figured out whatever you want to do with, or you want to do plateless models with cutout design to 90% of your workflow days, save that one as a default and you start a model creator, and this will be the first thing. You don't have to select it again. Okay, super easy and intuitive for this. What you can also see directly here is also the overview with the preset diameters for all of the system integrators that we have. For the for example, I think what do we need? What do we take? I think we will stay with our corrector. Doesn't make sense, but it's cool that you can see directly the logo and also here directly the model types or the resins or whatever we want to do with that. Yeah, and then also there are some presets with hollow models, also with different kind of colors like this. And the fitting parameters are also from our system integration partners. So they had made a couple of tests with different kind of materials, also with the fitting stuff, and they giving us the fitting diameter or parameters, and then we will directly integrate it into our software. But you can also make your own decisions later on, but we will check that. Also here you can see how big the model height at general is. Yeah, you can also see, like, we can just small that a little bit more or less, make it smaller, the area where it's infected, that we don't need that much material in this case. Okay, so right away we can just go through all of the margin line detection, because we just also have here stumps. Yeah, correct and draw, repair. I think this is familiar with you. So we can just skip and go to the next ones right away here. Yeah, I will just mark them normally. Make just like one click and the algorithm helps me. Yeah. Otherwise, if I have seen something that I have missed and I want to cover it like this, yeah, I can also do more dots. And the software algorithm will try to take place. And then I can also, for example, just like add here a couple of dots and make my alignment for the segmentation. Okay, now what you can see here directly, we have the toggle dice system. Yeah, so we can select the tooth right away here. You can see that preset is set up like we have the normal detachable. Yeah, but I can also make them as a normal master model. So these dies are not detachable at the moment. So then they will cover like one model without any kind of stumps. So, but we just want to have them here. Yeah. Now you can see also the shortcut Control click or Shift click to toggle an extra die. If I do it like this, then the software will directly make a copy out of the die, and you have just like a duplicate of this die. Yeah. Sometimes also people ask if they can do the agendum teeth. Yeah, that's also possible. Just click on it. Yeah, and then you can also make a detachable die out of this case, out of this tooth, just by clicking on the tooth then later on, and the tooth will be segmented and will also make a die for you. But we will just go next. And then we have our possibilities to see the model diameters here. These, like I said, is a diameter or as a preset saved from our customer system integrator, but you can also make your own decisions. Yeah. Now, if you have set up, okay, I go with the material, but I need a little bit more or less adjustments here. And then you can see also when you hover over the parameters here, that there is a GIF that will directly show you what does this diameter affect. This is not new in Elefsina, yeah, but I just mention it again, that there is a possibility here to work with different kind of parameters, yeah, and so on and so on. So we can see here that there is the possibility to set the shaft gap. But now we come to a point also that's since our last version, but sometimes forgotten. Yeah, you can also see now that this horizontal shaft gap here is mentioned for all the tooths at the same time. But if I click on them, yeah, I can also make them one available, for example, as an own tooth. Yeah, so you can see right away, I can make them, mark them, yeah, each of them individual and give them each of them an individual parameter. Yeah, and this is super cool. Sometimes if you have a lower jaw, for example, see that case one is a lower jaw, and we switch that we have 4 tooth in the lower jaw, and they are really, really, really thin together. We don't have that much space. You can set up the horizontal shaft gap or the vertical shaft gap, different things like this, yeah, to have a better fitting then later on for the stumps. Or then you can also say use a dynamic shaft gap. Yeah, if we go with a model alignment, a dynamic shaft gap, then you can also make them one conical. Yeah, it's also cool that you have a little bit better fitting parameters for the different kind of stumps or using modes that you want to use with. Yeah, and you can see also that we have the possibility here, wherever you have this small arrow, just enlarge it, set your tooth individual, what you need, and then you can see right away, you can toggle this different kind of parameters. Yeah. Also a thing like sometimes this is saved like here. Yeah, you can also right click and you can see that you can directly reset current value to 0, or right click on the arrow to set behind, then it's also set to the default again. Yeah, if you have, for example, then switched with different kind of things like this. Yeah. We talk about masks. We can also now toggle different kind of gingiva masks here. In this type, I have chosen Plateless model with cutout dies. I can, for example, make my individual gingiva mask here. I don't have the flat positioning to the gingiva. Sometimes we also had that one as a support request, so I will mention that real quick. People are asking now, I want to use my gingiva mask, but I just get it individual, yeah, on the model, and I don't have the option to set gingiva mask flat. And this really occurs to the principle that you did not choose the ModelCreator model alignment with the flat gingiva mask. Yeah, just to mention that real quick. You can see also we can make retention knobs then in this kind of gingiva mask type. And yeah, so these are things like this. Also with the settings here, what you can see directly, because this was something that I think one of my former presenters did. They saved the automatic presets for that. And you can see right away here, every time, like when I start the model creator again, you saw directly with, not even with the model type planning, also with the savement here from the presets, this directly chosen. Yeah, but you can also, whatever, do your list. Yeah, you can just save them one here. Yeah, if you don't want to use it for the next time, unpack that checkbox, and then it will just like have an empty field. Yeah. Also the pedestal height here, set direction from view. Yeah. This is also a thing like here. Yeah, we can just move the model type a little bit more or less in this case. Just go right here, for example. Yeah, but it's also the same, like you can move it in which kind of version you need. Yeah. So I think we will just check it like here. So it's the direction from view. Yeah. So feel free to play with that hollow model and so on and so on. But we don't want to waste time. We just want to go and create a model here. Yeah. Then you can see right away the model is doing his stumps, the analytics, giving the model cutout. Yeah. So also, if this is an PLY or OBJ, in the tool expert mode tools and settings, you have the option now to, for example, if you work with color printers like Stratasys and so on, that you can also print them later on in color module. So there's no setting needed. Just go on expert tools and check for the color printing model type. Yeah. So going to the next step. Also, we do the same for the bottom part. So for the lower jaw, but we don't need to attach, we don't need to go with here kind of stump parameters. We'll just go through it. Okay, now we have our stumps done. We have our model stump. We can also now see here our attachments, and also our attachments now got pictures with a short description, also the scalable diameters and what you can do with that. Yeah, so also feel free just to check that out. Hover with the mouse over the pictures, and then you can see directly whatever you want to do with that. Just by clicking on it, I can make my parameters for the attachments with the small standable articulated attachment support pins. Yeah, but I can also go here with, I don't know, iTero, Ivoclar, or even when I just downloaded, there are a couple of more modules for our attachments here right away. Yeah, we can also add a text, yeah, by writing a text here. exocad webinar, add text, and then we can just also like do it here on the positioning. Yeah, so see it directly here. I just wrote a big E. So, and yeah, like this. You can emboss them, or you can also make the thickness bigger. Yeah, emboss, deboss, also the size. Yeah, and if it's red like this, yeah, it doesn't stick to the surface, and then move it a little bit more or less, and then it will sharpen and round your things up now with emboss and deboss. So these are just things for the model creator. I think it's a big improvement for us and also for customers or end users, because we had the feedback that there are so many parameters with pin height and pin collapse and this and this and this, and nobody really knows what does this parameter in fact. And now we have like the GIFs, like the last version, and also like pictures here for the attachments and the model type bases and so on and so on. And I think this makes the life for the end users really, really easy for everyone. So also for me, because sometimes I just look for that and I think, what does it mean? Yeah, because we are haptic people, and we check that when we have a picture, and it's really, really better for that. Okay, so everything's good, Thorsten?
Yeah, so far, no questions. Yeah, we would like to see some attachment from your side as well by asking us questions. So
okay,
so just go ahead.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, we'll save it anyway. And then I will go into the next case. So going new and load. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There, duplicate denture. Okay. So now talking about duplicate dentures and the possibilities that we have here. So in this case, we use the full denture and full denture indicator here and the 360 scan. Yeah, the 360 denture scan. Copy existing scanned denture. Sure, we have to do that in this case. And so then later on, what you can see right away, if my preview is loading, yeah, we have the scanned denture from the bottom part and from the top part. So everything is set up and scanned with an intraoral scanner. Yeah, and like the way you can see here, yeah, we just want to have a new or just like a duplicated denture scan for traveling prosthetics or something like this. Yeah, so even when we want to just talk about things like that, it's super and really easy and intuitive. And now we come to things like we had set up with the Elefsina version. We have our tooth segmentation AI cloud feature in this case. Yeah, so what you can directly see here, the scan editor. And we can also, for example, cut and work with different kind of things like normal we do here. But we can also directly see that we have our freeform denture scan. Yeah, if we want to get rid of some fragments or some things like this, we can also use that, but I will show that in the next case here. And yeah, or you can also just like click on it. Yeah, and then I can see the color texture. Yeah, and then I can, for example, freeform different kind of things. Also the basal part here. Yeah, you can just walk with that. So, but now coming to our denture margin, the next step. Yeah, so the software algorithm is just like giving us here a succession. But like you see, everything is also with, I think when you know the margin line tool, it's exactly the same. The denture margins, I can add or remove pins here. I can also adjust them like whatever I want to with it. Yeah, but I think I'm fine with that kind of margin stuff. and I will go into the next one. So also the same here, like for the lower jaw, for me, it's like everything's perfect. Like the software did that for me. I will jump into the next one. What you see, like here real quick. Okay, let me do that one. Okay, we'll just wait until the tooth segmentation is ready. You can see right away, that's what I'm just want to talk about real quick. We have the AI crown function, or the AI, and not AI crown function, AI cloud function, not crown, cloud. The service is just the multi-tooth segmentation based on the cloud detection, and it will check directly here our tooth margins. Yeah. So depending on the scans, or depending on the washed borders here, the software did our calculation about this, because we just want to have that one later on separated. The markings of the tooth, set it up as an STL, and also then the denture scan in this case. Yeah, you can see directly here everything is segmented, that we also mentioned the DentalDB. Yeah, but also there is a possibility to correct it, but I think we don't need it in this case. The arrows are just giving us a little bit short direction from the top view. Yeah, so this is why they are all separated differently. Yeah, you can see directly if I just, for example, check for each arrow that has a different insert direction. Yeah, and just like that, giving us the top view from our tooth in this case. What I just also wanted to show you, that the software gives us here a model, directly model increase out of our denture margin that we set up over that one. Okay, but anyways, we'll jump into the next step. Also doing the markings for our lower jaw. But we don't need the upper jaw at the moment. Yeah, okay, we'll disable themselves. So, okay, good, perfectly. And also add the color texture again, and then we'll jump to the next one. But now, when we talk about duplicate denture, the software does exactly what the duplicate denture means. Yeah, and we are, I think, to tell about this. This is one of our new features that we have set up since the Elefsina release, the first release, not the feature release, but the first Elefsina release. And the R&D is making so much good stuff in this case. I just saw a couple of things right away there, and there will be coming cool things in the future. We are just started with that one, yeah, and it's really, really cool. Make this duplicate denture workflow really, really easy and intuitive. What you can now do right away here for yourself, yeah, you can see the gingiva segmentation also, but right away also you can just also move the teeth, yeah. This is normally like the things that we have set up in the DentalCAD. So everyone who is familiar with the DentalCAD normal denture placement workflow, you can just work around with that. Yeah, we can use tooth libraries, and we can use the chain mode or something even else in this way. Yeah, but I will reset all of them, global reset, to set them back on position. Yeah, so different kind of modules or movements that we can do right away here. But in our case, our our doctor calls us like, here, I'm sending you cases. The patient want to go on a Christmas vacation, on a winter vacation, and he just needs a duplicate denture scan because, I don't know, for the Christmas or winter parties, he just want to have the security to have good food, and then he also wants to have that one as a backup if there's something happening. Yeah, so I could also correct my denture placement, but I just want to go with that. Yeah, also like same things we have to set up with the dentures. With the tooth placement, we can also make an adaptation here from static and dynamic occlusion. I don't have an articulator here with me, so there's just like a static and a proximal possibilities that we have. Yeah. But anyways, you can also freeform everything right away. Yeah. I will just disable true smile and color to set that one here a little bit better. Yeah. You can see directly that we have the possibilities here, just like working normally on all of our tooth setups that we have. So, but then going into the next one. So, denture base bottom. Yeah, I think there's also nothing real big change or real big changes to the rest of it. We will just set up our insert direction here from the view. Yeah, we can set it up like this, or we can also grab our arrows and make our insert direction here in this case. Yeah, to have the availability to see if we have undercuts or not. Yeah, also the offset here. There's like a little block out from 0.3 with a little thin foil that we will go over that. Yeah, and then we can just, for example, hit apply, and then the software will block that one out for us. If you just don't want to have it as a block out, just feel free to set that one to 0, and then you have a direct contact on your surface here in this case. Jump into the next one, exactly the same with the bottom. We will just go through that one. So now connectors are being generated. Yeah, I think we can go around with that duplication like here, and we will just get rid of this. Yeah, then we can see directly our connector parts here. Yeah, I think also the connectors now can be set like things individual you need here in this case. Yeah, just go with that, and they make it a little bit more or less in this part that you have it on the top part. Yeah, you can also set up the height, the width, and also can visualization the thickness of the connectors in this part, and then also the different kind of shapes. Yeah, but I think in this case, because we are making a duplicate denture scan, we don't need to set that kind of big connector faces here like that. Free-forming denture scans, exactly the same like we have in a normal workflow. We can use the normal brush mode or flatten, but also the anatomic parts. Yeah, if we, for example, want to use that one a little bit more or less higher, yeah, set that down or whatever, or we just also want to give them a little bit more or less here, a little bit more or less support. Yeah, I want to set that one down or whatever. Yeah, make the alveoles a little bit more or less visible. Yeah. I think there are different more things to come when you just want to have, for example, a free-forming here. Feel free to work with that. Free-forming is, from my perspective, the best thing. You want to work and have an individual style for this prosthetic part. Okay. What I also really love, for example, cases like here, the enable custom bridge bottom. I will just apply that one and start it. To see what does this mean. So I will also hide the jaw scans here. That's why I don't use the, I didn't use the connector parts here this big, or I celebrated to positioning, to make a positioning for the connector parts, because I really love the enable custom bridge step here in this case. Yeah, for example, just for the duplicate dentures, because we have the teeth separated, we have the teeth set up on position. Yeah, and I will just show you during the calculation here, or I just will explain it, because now when we talk about the connectors, yeah, the software, like you see here, gingiva scans, Denture Base, yeah, and I don't need anatomic shapes. Yeah, so you can see that, or the connectors also, you can see this custom bridges, enable custom bridges, will now connect everything right away through a straight surface. First of all, it's also cooler and easier for the cam later on, or the printer, to print things like this. We don't have the sharp indicators in the proximal contacts, and everything is set up with a real good connection until your individual surface is set up right here. And I really love that one. Yeah, so this is really, really cool. Enable custom bridges. Yeah, and exactly the same now here for the bottom part. We can enable it, but during the calculation time, we'll just skip it here in this case. Yeah, because I think we just have 90 minutes left. Talking too much again, and I don't want to waste that much time doing the calculation. So, okay, because I just want to demonstrate the next case also. That's why I'm really need to go forward. So next case will be then also set up. And now, like you see, we have here set our different kind of model parts. then we have denture parts, then we also have the jaw scans, and we also have the Denture Base adapted. Yeah, and so this is the thing, or the difference between that, and this is like what I just wanted to show you between upper and lower jaw. Yeah, so upper jaw has this enable individual custom bridge button, looks more stable and closed in this case for the connectors. And when we just see the bottom part where I don't change the connectors with the position and the height and the size and so on and so on, yeah, there we have this little edges, for example. I just did that for demonstration cases. If you want to mill that one, for example, it could be a little bit more or less tricky for the CAM to cover out this kind of indicators here in the approximal part. Yeah, for PMMA could be good. If you want to work it with other materials, could be a little bit more or less difficult. Yeah, but this is just what I wanted to show you, is the difference between the enable custom bridge button and the normal connectors in this case. Okay, yeah, what I just also wanted to show you real quick. Now we have here also the quick model design. This is what I mentioned in the parameters for the presentation at the beginning. And now we come to our last part. Yeah, our last part will be then a special case, immediate load with denture scan, duplicate denture part. So good. So far, so good. Pushing new, going on load. And then there we go. Duplicate denture advanced with immediate load. What we have here, we also have a setup for full denture. We have a 360 scan. We have also exactly the same things like we had set up before. But you can also see here on the, I'm on the right position, to scan exoplan and surgical guide. So there was a planning made in exoplan, also directly done with the surgical guide and the extraction over the CBCT data. And we can work with this scans directly. You can see when I'm just go here on show and hide, yeah, we have the denture scan, yeah, separated, like also you can see here, the radio park dots for the exoplan fitting. And then we have our bottom parts that are directly made as a model out of our exoplan. Yeah, so we don't cover the exoplan workflow today, but this is like a normal setup with two implants, yeah, on 1.3 and 2.3, I guess, or is it? I don't know where it is. Yeah, scan body is on 1.2 and 2.2. Yeah, oh, no, therefore I wanted to click it like here. Denture scan, but now with the indication of ball attachments. Yeah, scan body and main scan on ball attachments, also super workflow and super indicated. Also like set up with the last feature or with the first feature release or first release on DentalCAD 3.2. Really like this workflow, and let's jump over it. So first things, the exocad recognizes that there is an implant planning information directly out of our exoplan. This is why I love this immediate load workflow, that we can directly do the implant planning and the cut stuff in one DentalDB. Yeah, it's super cool that we don't waste that much time with databases or cut data or something like this. I just wanted to skip the German, sorry. But anyways, the implant planning information is now the thing to go, because now when we do it like this, also the software recognizes that there's a prosthetic mesh for our upper jaw. We can use it as wax up, we can use it as pre-op, but we will ignore it in this case because we want to switch it. And I know, and I will explain why we ignore that one in this case. Yeah. So because now, like you see here, this is mentioned as our denture scan, but we can do a duplicate denture on this case here because we just don't have the possibility to set up teeth. Yeah, when we just want to work with the cloud segmentation, we cannot use that one right away here. But now I just will go with the informations directly out of exoplan, because in exoplan, we set it our exocad demo libraries with the ball attachments here. Yeah, okay. So, and I will just go click next, and next to set up this one like here, setting the implant planning information. You can see it directly here. Wait a minute. Oh, do it on the left side here. The position relative is directly coming out from the CT alignment here in this case. Okay. So is everything is set up. But now, yeah, I will go into the expert mode. Yeah, I will go to tools. I will go to, oh, I will go also on the left side, add and remove mesh. And now I go back on the right side. Select mesh type and denture skin. Yeah. So when I just click now on load, a mesh type already exists. Do you really want to replace it? Yes, we want to replace that. And now we need not our merged surgical guide. We need our dual scan prosthetics implant planning. Yeah. So now we just skipped, or we just switched out the prosthetic base with our full denture. Okay. I can click OK, and I can go on wizard again. And I'm exactly in the step where I just entered. But now we have some fragments like here, or like also our radio park dots. We can get rid of this, but just go click on freeforming. Now go on smooth, and yeah, just smooth that one a little bit. Oh, not like this. I just need to fix the wheel. So yeah, just go like this here and make that one with a couple of clicks. Yeah, and smooth it down. So where we have also then another dot here. And we also need to cover that one here. Yeah. So, okay. Good. Everything so far so good. Looks great. Yeah. Or I forgot that one here. True. So you can do it right away here, but anyways, you can also make it manually. But I think if we have the option to freeform our denture scan, well, we shouldn't take it. Yeah. Then we will go with the next one. We have to set our scan data orientation correct. So let me adjust that one real quick, like this. So far so good. And we click on next. Yeah. So steps also, you see now the workflow contains the exact same workflow type that we had made with our duplicate denture before. Yeah. But the small thing is that we just changed the denture scan in this case at the beginning by clicking on expert on tools and add remove mesh and replace the denture scan. And now the workflow is exactly the same like this. Yeah. The model is made out of the generation. Now our tooth segmentation starts, and you can see the software is a little bit confused because of washy cervical parts here. Yeah. But now I can go on, click on correct. Yeah. And I can just set, for example, here a tooth right away for 1.6. Yeah. I can go on correct and mark it, for example, here by clicking or whatever. I can just also do an indication like here, by clicking on that and then marking all of my tooth right away, going through this here, 1.4. And then the software is getting a little bit more help with defining wherever I start with things like this, and then I can just click the tooth right away real quick here. So 2.3, 2.3, but I just need to also 2.2. Yeah, thank you. So then also 2.4, 2.5, and 2.6 is okay. Yeah. So this, like a thing, the software did something, calculation was done, but there are really not the good things that we have really our full good visualization from our gingiva parts with the tooth margins or the cervical margins in this case. And now everything is corrected and the software taking place. Yeah, there is a visual adaptation for the ball attachments here right away. Yeah, and also I can see my skin, and I can also see my gingiva, for example, and then I can move on with the tooth right away here. Yeah, but in that case, I think we don't need it. We will accept everything right away like it is. Yeah, everything looks good in this case, and then we can go to the next one. Now also, I guess exactly the same. We can cut the proximal and the full contacts if we just, for example, replace the tooth on a different kind of way. Yeah. Also, when we had, for example, an adaptation made in the height of the tooth that we have contact to our antagonist, but we don't have an antagonist here in this case. Yeah. We can go and jump right away through this one here in the parts of that. And you can see it's like the normal denture setup workflow. Yeah, everything is normal. Everything will go through the normal workflow, and we want to show it because it's super easy. Yeah, sometimes people, when they say like, oh, we want to implement prosthetic base out of implant workflow, and then we have to measure things and implants and that. No, if we have the immediate low workflow integration, it's super easy just to take that one as a placeholder. And also, like you see, import the implant information files. Yeah, and also with our integration of our implant library editor directly in the CAD. Yeah, you don't need to download everything from our website. You just need to go into the CAD software. If you don't want to download the implants, and everything will take place in the folder. So you can see there is automatism, there is cloud-based, there is integration. So things are coming, yeah, in previous versions, things or changes from previous versions to new versions. So we are trying to make the life easier for dental techs, for labs, for milling manufacturer, for dentists, and so on and so on. Yeah, so everything right away with automatism, UI changes. So this is why I think the software is evolving every time. Yeah, and we can just make the life really easy for the patients. So life easy for the dentists to have a better life for the patients. So that's what I wanted to say. Okay. Also here, I think freeforming will take place. And I think I will just check the clock. Okay, a couple of minutes left. Yeah, smooth and flatten. Everything is fine right away. I can just, for example, go here and make a marking. Yeah, and for example, give a little bit more or less better design here. Yeah, to have my alveoles a little bit more or less better. Yeah. And if the denture minimum thickness distracts me, I can also just put it out. Yeah. And then I can make my freeformings and also visualization, bottom thickness again. And I can see, oh yeah, I'm here with 2 millimeters. That's okay. I'm fine with that. And in the next phase, I will also just adapt everything right away. Oh. So also with, yeah, I could also enable the custom bridge buttons, but I won't do that. And the minimum thickness here, also you can adjust the tooth pockets. That's also what I wanted to mention. I forgot it in the last phase. Yeah. For the posteriors and anteriors, you can make separate thicknesses or values for the gaps here. Yeah. And so on and so on. And this is a really good improvement for making gluing spaces or polymerization spaces for the tooth later on right away. Yeah. Okay, so let's merge it. We have 9:55, good in time. I didn't talk that much in this case, so everything is fine. Torsten, you're good?
Yes, I'm fine. There were actually just about 1.5 questions, but not
1.5 questions. Okay, cool.
We're good. Yeah.
Okay. So then let's work that one out. Go through everything right away. And let it merge. So if you're, for example, then in the future, when you are playing with the software now, after seeing my demonstration, and you want to start with things like this, and if you can't wait for the playlist upload for the webinar recording, if you have questions for that, don't hesitate to write us on feedback@exocad or something. Yeah. With your questions about the webinar. Just take a good description for the email, webinar with Rafi, full denture, duplicate denture mode with ModelCreator. I have tried workflow like this. Give us a short explanation and then we can answer you via email. It's also no problem if you struggle with something in this case. Yeah, feel free to do it. Otherwise, if there are some questions in the future also, yeah, you can ask the reseller or give us a feedback at exocad.com. And otherwise, you can also rewatch the recording on our YouTube page in the future with your speed, when you can pause, when you can see the steps step by step, and then you can follow through it. Okay, so now we can see everything is merged, our tooth are ready, and also our spacer for the ball attachments. You can just then glue it or polymerize it in. Yeah, do whatever you want with that. And then you can feel free to work with a duplicate denture scan. And this is an easy workflow or just an easy case to show what is possible with the integration of immediate load and DentalCAD. Okay, so I will stop my timer. Everything is fine. In a good mood. Hope everybody learned something. Hope it was informative for you. Are there some open questions, Torsten?
No, not really. I answered these questions. Were not
Perfect.
that important, so we are
cool.
fine. Yeah,
I love to work with you in that case. That's so cool. Thank you. Okay, so if there are no open questions, otherwise you now have the time.
Yes, you've got 2 or 3
couple of minutes left.
Left, exactly. Yeah, to ask you questions. Yeah.
Good, good, good.
No, but doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like.
Not really, no.
Okay.
All right.
Otherwise, good. Otherwise, feel free. Yeah. And I wish everybody a blessed Tuesday. Have a good day. Enjoy your time. Enjoy the winter time. Yeah. Do whatever you want with that, and I will see you, I think, in our next webinars next year. I hopefully do it. And stay safe, stay healthy. All the best for you, and see you soon.
Yeah, see you. Have a nice day.